Hello everyone, it's me again, Youngmaster3, and this is going to be the video of top 5 of the month for the month of February. Yeah, what are we waiting for? Let's get started. At number 5 we have Asako I and I. I'm not really sure if you say I and I because it's like I and then two and two. I'm not really sure how you say that, but it's a Japanese film from 2018, and it's a drama romance film. Usually, I'm not very that big fan of like drama romance films because it just seems like it's the same type of storyline over and over again when it comes to those type of films. But I thought that they did this in a really well way and very realistic as well, because sometimes when you get to those like rom-com films as well, they tend to get very cliche, and that's the reason why I appreciated this particular film so much, because it just felt like it felt very realistic in comparison to most other like Western films that has the same genre basically. So anyway, I mean, I'm not sure. Like I said before, Ahsoka, I and I. I'm not really sure if I say the title right or so. So I'm just gonna leave the link down below in the description afterwards. So if I just don't butcher the title. So, but anyway, that's it for the number 5 and number 4. We have Across 110th Street. And one thing that I thought was really hilarious about this film, I mean, don't get me wrong, this film is not hilarious by any means. It's very depressing and really dark, but the opening score, or like the opening credits, has a really weird, funky, like 70s, really happy music to it. And like, oh, this is going to be a really fun little goofy film. And then afterwards, it's just like, oh my god, it's just the complete opposite of that. It's basically about the violence in the streets, basically. I'm not really sure. Is it the New York City? It's supposed to take place in New York City, so it's basically like these drug lords like fighting each other out, and it's just corruption and all that. I mean, everything's just pitch black in this film. So don't let the opening credits fool you that it's like some sort of like goofy comedy action film. But anyway, this film is really great. I'm not really. I don't think I'm gonna say anything about it, because the lesser you know about it, the more I think you'll probably enjoy it. So, Across 110th Street, number 4. And then at number 3 we have a film with Ray Liotta and Willem Dafoe. The film is called Control from 2004. Once again, really interesting concept. It's basically about Ray Liotta's character. He is pretty much like a prisoner that is supposed to be executed for crimes he's committed. But Willem Dafoe gives him an option, or Willem Dafoe and his crew gives him an option as to either you go on with this execution and like pretty much give up, or you can volunteer for our little science project, and in that way you'll stay alive, but you'll need to follow our instructions. So he does that, and he takes this weird medicine that's supposed to take making him like more lesser aggressive and more human, if you will. And in the start just feels like this doesn't work, and then it just gets to a point where he gets really obsessed with these pills or drugs, and you don't really know what if he's telling the truth or not eventually. So that's really interesting, and I thought both Ray Liotta and Willem Dafoe did a really great job in this. I would say the biggest problem I have with this film is the ending, which feels a little bit rushed. I'm not going to spoil it or anything like that, but that's just my criticism for the film. But anyway, Control at number 3. And at number 2, we have Woman in the Dunes from 1964. This is another Japanese film, and this is another film that is very hard to explain if you haven't seen it. This is sort of like I kept thinking about Andrei Tarkovsky, because Andrei Tarkovsky's films, you can't really explain them to someone who hasn't seen them, because those films are more like experiences you need to experience for yourself to fully understand them, or if you even understand them afterwards after that. I mean, sometimes you don't do that. So, but I kept thinking while I watched this film, oh my god, this reminds me so much of Andrei Tarkovsky. And what do you know? I looked up some trivia on the IMDb page, and it seems like Andrei Tarkovsky, this was his favorite film. So I'm not surprised that was the case. So because you can see he probably took some parts and bits from this that he really inspired him to make his films. Anyway, Woman in the Dunes from 1964, really, really great. It has a pretty good score on IMDb. I'm not really sure. I mean, I shouldn't say it has a good score on IMDb because personally, I usually try to I usually try to avoid looking up what type of rating a film has before I watch it, so I can just make my own interpretation of the film or what I like about it. So, but anyway, Women in the Dunes, really great. So number 2. So yeah, and at number 1 we have a film which I think this was my 5,000th film, or 5,000 that I rated on IMDb. That's the reason why I chose this as well, because this film is directed by Emilio Estevez and starring Emilio Estevez, and the film is called The War at Home. Now, this film is once again like a story. I mean, this type of storyline we have seen before. It's basically about Emilio Estevez's character who gets back from the war and how traumatized he is, and you can totally see that he's not really himself anymore, and it just gets worse and worse within the family because he just doesn't get along with anyone, and he just wants to sit around in this room all day long and whatnot, and very unstable. And I thought the acting was really great. I mean, all the actors did a great job in this, and I would also say that I think it's a shame that this film flopped when it came out, because apparently the money he got to make this film was from his small little like cameo role in the third Mighty Ducks film. So the only reason why I believe the only reason why he appeared in Mighty Ducks was because he could get some money from that to produce this film or make this film. And after this film flopped, he apparently told people that he was considering just quitting the business altogether, which is really a shame, because this is such a great film, and I just wish more people could give it a chance. So really great drama film. It sort of reminded me a little bit of Coming Home, which came out in like 1978 or 79, I believe, which was with who was in that film? Jane Fonda and Jon Voight, I believe. It has similarities with that one, just like with this one, but I think I prefer this one over that one. So still really good films, both of them. So, but anyway, The War at Home from 1996 at number 1. So yeah, that's the top 5 of the month for the month of February. Next video, who knows? Maybe it's gonna be top 5 of the month for the month of March, because I haven't uploaded anything in a while. But I will try to make a review video or top 10 list eventually as well. Maybe another update video, because I have plenty of other films to show you that I've forgotten about and whatnot. So, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, keep your eyes open for the next one. So see you next time. Bye bye.